President, I have 5:30.
Okay. Good evening. We'd like to welcome everybody to the regularly scheduled board meeting for Thursday, April 6th. Mr. Philo, could you call roll, please?
Ms. Landon.
Yes.
Mrs. Malad.
Here.
Mr. Steininger.
Here.
Mr. McCourt.
Here.
Mr. Browning.
Here. Could we stand for the pledge, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next, could we get a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Philo?
Mrs. Malad.
Yes.
Mr. Steininger.
Yay.
Ms. Landon.
Yes.
Mr. McCourt.
Yes.
Mr. Browning.
Yes. Next is to approve the minutes of the Thursday, March 2nd board meeting. Again, if we could get a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Philo?
Mr. McCourt.
Yes.
Mr. Steininger.
Yay.
Ms. Landon.
Yes.
Mrs. Malad.
Yes.
Mr. Browning.
Yes. Next is board reports and good of the order. We want to start with Wendy.
Sure. February and March, STAR students from Fairborn Intermediate School, excuse me, took a field trip to the United States Air Force Museum. So congratulations and keep up the great work. April is Month of the Military Child. In Fairborn City Schools, they honor all of our families and students from Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, and we truly appreciate your service. Today, the Fairborn High School Air Force Junior ROTC honored our military with a flag raising, and later next week, they will be honoring our students with certificates and t-shirts. So thank you for your service and dedication to our country. And thank you to our military family member, excuse me, military family life counselors, Lauren Gussman and Kay Adams. And also, did you know that every building in our Fairborn City School District is designated as a Purple Star School? So by the Ohio Department of Education, because of our continued support of our military. Thank you for your service.
Okay. Katie?
Okay. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to the Fairborn High School Environmental Club for helping to plant 300 trees today, or sorry, that was actually on Arbor Day. The trees will provide forage and roosting habitat for federally listed bat species. We want to say thank you to Mandy Taylor, who is the AP Environmental teacher here at the high school, and her students for their great work. And then a few events that are coming up. On Wednesday, April 12th, we remember child abuse prevention in partnership with the Greene County Public Health Department. Ohio will wear blue for child abuse prevention. If you suspect a child in Greene County has been abused, please call 937-562-6600. Someone is always available to take your call. I'd also like to give kids a word of encouragement here at the high school. I believe they will be celebrating Unity Day on April 14th, which is next week. That's a very special day that they typically do at the beginning of the year, but got pushed back because of our schedule. So I want to wish the kids a happy Unity Day and hope they have a great time celebrating that together. Also would like to give a shout out to the final choir concert here at FHS. Will be on Tuesday, April 25th at 7 p.m. I encourage you to come out and hear some of our senior soloists who will be performing before the concert. And it's always a really great experience to hear our talented musicians. So thank you.
Okay, Pat?
We would like to say thank you to the Fairborn Primary Schools Assistant Principals Val Herdman and Twyla Hine and their Fairborn Primary PTO and staff for supporting the Easter Egg Run. So much fun for our youngest Skyhawks and the FPS staff members, and the PTO filled thousands of eggs to support the event. Thank you to FHS Leo Club members for helping to staff on the day of this event. Also, thank you to the Fairborn PD officer, Fullen and Baker Middle School SRO Blocker for working with the Fairborn Krogers and the Kroger Promise program to deliver Easter baskets to our MD classes at Baker Middle School, an incredibly kind gesture for our students. Thank you.
Tim?
Yes, Earth Day 2023 is coming. This year's theme is Invest in Our Future. This year we'll feature an art contest for the Fairborn primary students and an art essay contest for the intermediate, Baker, and Fairborn high school students. The deadline, if you're interested, for the artwork essays is Friday the 21st, with a monetary awards being provided by BW Greenway and Wagner Subaru, and those will be awarded on April 22nd at Spark in downtown Fairborn. Also would like to thank the varsity head coach, Larry Cox, and his staff for providing an opportunity for our high school football players. The team visited the University of Cincinnati. The future is bright for our student athletes, and these visits help the students prepare academically and provide insight to their future planning. So thank to everybody.
Okay. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Mr. Waylon Stiegel. This feedback comes from the Greene County ESC, that he's humble, very kid-centered, focused, and he's a very positive individual. So that's great to get that kind of outside feedback regarding one of our leaders. The second thing is, got a chance to walk through the new high school yesterday, and with Mr. McCourt and Mr. Lawley, and it's neat to walk through there and see the progress, and it'll be nice at the point we can get public through it, sometime in 24 once the building's available. But the academic wing is outstanding. The Performing Arts Center, because we know we have a good performing arts program here, between band and choir, is really neat. The arena's neat. So I think when you get a chance to see it finally, everybody's going to be really excited. So I know I was yesterday, and it's maybe half done or 3/4 done. So that's it. So next on the agenda is recognition of visitors, public comment.
Mr. President, right now I have a Mr. John Pace who signed up to speak. Mr. Pace, do you wish to speak? No, thanks. All right. Mr. President, we have none then.
Okay. Next then is school district presentations. Mr. Lawley?
Good evening, everyone. This is a very special night indeed. Tonight, we are proud to honor Mr. Ernest Parker with an honorary diploma from Fairborn High School. Mr. Parker was born in 1938 and attended Fairborn High School, but did not graduate because he went directly into the workforce. Christina Bennett, class of 2000, reached out to us to honor him. We welcome Mr. Parker and his family tonight and thank the Fairborn High School principal, Mr. Waylon Stiegel, and senior class advisor, Becky Zink, for making this special moment possible. Again, congratulations, Mr. Parker, and if you would come forward to accept your high school diploma.
Can we all go out there? Because he's crying. Because that's what we do.
If anybody wants to come up for pictures, you can come up closer if you want.
Yeah, get his family together. Should we sing? you gotta take him for a new car next.
Where's my car? I just want to thank everybody. I thought this day had never come. When I was honored, I started working in the coal mines, 12 years old. I worked 5 years there, and then I went into other stuff. Had the plumbing business for about 40 years. And I done quite well. I raised my family. And that was the most important part. I never got to go to school. I went to the 3rd grade. But I'm proud of everything I've done and accomplished. I've done well for a dumb briar.
I
That's
didn't
all
think
I
you can
got
call
to say.
yourself that anymore, now that you got that title.
Again, congratulations.
And go Flyers.
Yes.
If the family wants to head out, they can head out now, or we'll be done here in about 10 minutes, so it's up to you.
You're welcome, very welcome.
He's all right. He'll pull out his pocket square if he needs to.
Should have told him he had to stay. We lost half our crowd.
We always do. Wonder why they came. Throw their weight around if somebody else was gonna speak.
Oh, yeah, big family.
Yeah, that's awesome.
At least 4 generations there, isn't there?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's great. I hate to have to take that family to dinner.
Next up is the facilities update from Mr. Jeff Patrick. Just a reminder, on April the 15th, we will be 11 months out from our substantial completion date for the new high school.
Well, that's going to be hard to follow, that's for sure. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of like Katie. I mean, it's going to be hard to read this paper too. So that's why we do what we do. So
Wendy's
that's
got more
exactly right.
Kleenex.
So I'll go ahead and give us a quick update about the Fairborn Primary School, the old 5 Points lot. They're still working on the final grading and the compacting of the soil when those conditions are suitable. With as much rain as we've been getting, it makes that a little bit difficult. Once those are done, they will do the grass seeding and planting of the grass seed and so forth. Other work that we'll see at that site, hopefully this summer, will be a storm drain just east of the bus parking lot. We need to put that in to make sure we catch all that runoff. So we'll get that accomplished hopefully this summer and so forth. As far as the rest of Phase 3B, parking lots, playgrounds, and so forth, due to the high estimates of estimates of that work, we will be basically putting that work off until probably the summer of 2024. We're forging through and trying to figure out the funding processes for that, and hopefully between May and June, we'll have an idea of how to get that taken care of. Fairborn Intermediate School over spring break, they continue to work on punch list. One of the big items that we have to complete is the lighting programming system. This has been a real challenge, so one of the subcontractors has been replaced, and another person has been brought in to try to get that work completed. They'll probably, some of that work needs to be done when there's no one in the buildings, and it's hard to get those individuals to work after first shift. So we'll have to see how we can get that accomplished. Here at the current high school, we have scheduled some roof repair, as we've done the last 3 or 4 summers. We take a little section and we continue to repair the roof and work on that. We've also scheduled some plumbing pipes to be basically taken care of this summer. And we have our first bid in place, our first quote, for the boiler system to be replaced here at the high schools. And it would be, right, kind of what we thought, a little bit over $300,000 is the first quote. At the new high school, work continues to progress very well, as you've heard from some individuals tonight. We have about 90% of the roof over the PAC Center, the Performing Arts Center, is basically installed. We have internet service, should be re-into the building within the next few weeks. Sometime between June and July, that internet service will be hopefully functioning so that we can do the HVAC controls and so forth and kind of get that underway. Shortly, you should start to see some curb cuts, outside work. So we'll move back outside with the conditions, start to basically develop parking lots and so forth. One other thing I do want to say is that if we continue to progress the way we are, we're hopeful that we'll be able to give the high school staff tours before they leave for summer break.
Awesome, good.
This is a new one, new middle school. 2 weeks ago, we received an email from the OFCC stating that our numbers were coming up sooner than expected. Last week, we had another conference call with them, and they basically have informed us that our number to start to proceed for that middle school could start as early as the summer of 2024 or the summer of 2025.
Wow, that's good news.
So even though that's great news, we've got to continue the discussions of schedules,
Right.
future needs, existing facilities throughout the district. So we've got a lot of planning to do between now and then and so forth, but it is exciting news. One other thing we've talked about is the copy machine lease. Emily and I have kind of come to our end of it. We're waiting on those estimates and that quote, but at least it's done. That's important because we want to have it in place to start the 23-24 school year. And then on tonight's agenda, there are 4 change orders. I just kind of wanted to go over those so everyone kind of understood what we had going on. They start on page 8 and run through page 9. The first one is basically the paper version to the verbal commitment that we had for the terrazzo flooring in sections of the school. The next one is concrete underneath the home side bleachers at the stadium. Third has to do with the inflationary $1 million that we had put into the budget for the steel. When we bid the project originally, we were not in a good bidding time. We thought the increase of the steel cost would go up, so we budgeted an extra $1 million for that inflationary factor. Of that $1 million, it took $202,000.
Right.
So that brings back into the project, I say back into the project because we haven't spent that, approximately $800,000. So that's what the third one represents, change order-wise. And then the last change order has to do with, I believe back in March, I had mentioned the fact that there were some windows that were missed and some storefronts that were missed. So what you're looking at on that fourth change order is the amount of money that will cost to fix. And I'd also talked about how SHP, Leading Design, was going to pay for that based on the design flaws. We have to show the change order as the way it's listed so that it stays part of the project. And Peterson then owns all the constructionary warranties and everything else. So it appears as if we're paying for it, but I can tell you that today, Mr. Philo and I received a check from SHP for the amount of money. So that check then goes into the funds to pay for the mishap of the missing windows and storm fronts.
Good work.
So that's kind of where we're at with the change orders and so forth. So, any questions?
No, good progress out there.
Thank you.
Okay, the next on page 2 is a resolution I'm not gonna read the whole resolution, but it's in support of the employees, everything regarding the biodigester, and basically to support the US EPA and Ohio EPA to make sure that everything is followed correctly and it complies with all regulations. So, any questions? Well, I guess let's get a motion a second, and then if there's any questions.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so any questions regarding or discussion?
None.
Okay. Mr. Philo?
Mr. McCord,
Yes.
Mrs. Malad,
Yes.
Ms. Landon,
Yes.
Mr. Steininger,
Yay.
Mr. Browning.
Yes. Thank you. Next is budget and finance, and it's basically to approve the receipt of the attached financial report. If I could get a motion in a second.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Philo?
Ms. Landon,
Yes.
Mr. Steininger.
Yay.
Mrs. Malad,
Yes.
Mr. McCord,
Yes.
Mr. Browning.
Yes, motion carries. Next is administrative reports and superintendent recommendations, and this goes all the way to the bottom of page 9. And included are the change orders that Jeff just talked about regarding the building, and it's always nice to get a change order that's a credit versus extra money. So well, let's get a motion in a second, and then if there's any comments or questions.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any comments or questions on any of the topics? Nope. Okay. Mr. Philo?
Mrs. Malad,
Yes.
Ms. Landon,
Yes.
Mr. Steininger,
Yay.
Mr. McCord,
Yes.
Mr. Browning.
Yes. Next is gifts and donations. So,
Great
Matt?
list tonight, nice
Yeah.
and long. Well, first of all, let me say thank you to everyone. We gratefully appreciate and acknowledge the gifts and donations. I've said this 100 times, but it seems like our people who are in the district, our citizens, and even our retirees just keep on giving. So Advanced Civil Design, $2,500 for the March PD door prizes. Mike from Mike's Bike Park, $100 in gift cards for FHS and PBIS awards. Dr. Sue Brackenhoff, $75 for the door prizes. Candace Denise Cakes, $40 for the door prizes at the March PD. Mr. and Mrs. Mike Foy, $50 for the Hall of Honor. Ali Garney, $25 for March PD door prizes. Kara Carpelli, or Carpel, however you want to say it, $79 for March PD door prizes. Pam Gayhart, $80 for door prizes. Emily Geisel, that's $200 for door prizes. Ed Gibbons, $200 for the Hall of Honor, $100 for the Music Club, and $100 for the Ackerman Relays, and also $100 for the Committee for After Prom. Health Foods Unlimited, $100 for door prizes. Jamie's Tire Service, $135 for door prizes. Austin Martin, $100 in gift cards for the FHS PBIS Awards. Laura McCabe, $50 for the March PD door prizes. Yours truly for 2 boxes of Legos for the Fairborn Primary. Original Mattress Factory, 8 mattresses for Homeless Liaison. Amanda Pelfrey, $50 for March PD door prizes. Piper Steel
Yes, that word.
Boutique.
$25 for the door prizes. Ellen Sloan Farthing, $100 for the Hall of Honor. Mr. and Mrs. Mel Sturts, $50 for a Hall of Honor. Weibel Energy Solution, $1,000 for the PD door prizes. Melissa Williams, $100 for the door prizes. Melissa and James Williams, $150 for door prizes. Warped Wing, $50 for door prizes. And Betsy Wyatt, $150 for door prizes. Again, thank you very much for all of the donations. They are greatly appreciated.
Okay, next, no work session, correct?
No work session, Mr. President.
Okay, so next we would go to executive session.
Yep. We could have a motion to go into executive session for the specified purpose of the employment and investigation of complaints against the public employee.
So we could have a motion and a second?
So move.
I'll second Tim.
Okay, Mr. Filant?
Mr. Steininger?
Yay.
Mr. McCourt?
Yes.
Ms. Landon?
Yes.
Mrs. Malad?
Yes.
Mr. Browning?
Yes.
Board anticipates that we'll have a short work session. We'll come out of work session and adjourn for the evening with no further action items. A quick break and